Right, I think Aaron said we're good to start, mate.
Let's go. Sam,
Do you want to explain the reason you're in that chair first?
Yeah, my back is at me. 33 is catching up on me. That's all we're going to say on that.
You're 33?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look younger.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Stop licking up to him, Sam.
Tell Jamie what he looks like.
I look my age, mate, but I can
What is
sit
your
up
age?
in a chair without needing the back on it.
Holy.
Well, I'll probably regret it in about 20 minutes, actually.
Yeah, this podcast,
Right,
you know.
Sam. All right, mate.
How's it going?
You all good?
Yeah, all good.
Thanks for having us up.
Well, thank you for having me on this.
Yeah, it's going to be good crack.
It will be good crack. Looking forward for it.
Yeah, thanks for welcoming us into the space.
Yeah,
It's as lovely as always.
I know. It's actually mad that it's been open for probably almost 2 years now, and most of you haven't been there in here yet.
Yeah,
other
Jamie,
than
how
Luke.
rude are you?
You don't welcome anyone, mate.
Yes, I do. It's always open. I'll
We
give
have to
you
pay to be here.
20 quid. 20 quid an hour.
Doing you a favour. Yeah.
Make sure you charge for the parking downstairs as well.
Extra rate for the Cali-X, yeah.
Sorry, we brought a product for a discount anyway.
So yeah, I suppose just if you're starting off properly, like you said, you started here 2 years ago, but you're obviously doing calisthenics longer than that.
Yeah, I've been doing calisthenics just over 5 years now.
Sorry, Aaron's just leaving to eat a packet of pancakes.
I'm doing the podcast, me.
Sorry, mate. Aaron eating chocolate pancakes is fairly more interesting sometimes. Yeah. Go on. Sorry. So yeah, you started off with Cali how long ago now?
Just over 5 years. It was whenever I started. It was just literally in the first quarantine of COVID. So that was 2022. It was like something March, I think. It was mid-March whenever I started. So just over 5 years now.
So you're he's a post-COVID.
Post-COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to call that post-COVID.
There's a post-COVID and a pre-COVID crew. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm post-COVID. Or yeah, you can say that.
What got you into it then?
Man, it was just whenever basically COVID hit. It was literally after like 3 days. I played football my whole life, so whenever I was kind of lying in bed doing nothing all day for like 3 days, and that almost like killed me in a way, you know. So I was sitting watching some YouTube stuff, and then just a video of Chris Éire popped up. I've never heard about calisthenics before, never knew what it is, and then just basically clicked on the video, and then it said, why should you start calisthenics? I was like, calisthenics, what is it even that? So I clicked on it, and then this guy is doing, muscle ups, doing 360s on the bar, doing planches, and I was like, whoa, before that I've never seen anyone doing stuff like that. And then I was like, this guy is literally like a hero, or like, just have a superpower. And then just kept watching more and more videos. And
May Luke not pop up at any point now?
Later stage, I was in retirement.
But yeah, it was just basically watching that video. I was like, I wanna try that, at least like give it a go, But looking at Chris Éire, I was like, there's literally nothing. But like, he's good because he's been practicing it for a long time. Yeah. So I didn't have a doubt that I actually can do it. So on the same night, funny enough, I put my shoes on because I was a bit choppy. On the same night, I put my shoes on and then just went for a run. And then from that day, I went on like 30 days, run 5K every single day. And I was actually doing Ramadan at the times, because first COVID, it was during Ramadan. So I was fasting, finished my fast, go for a run, and it was perfect for me to lose weight, because 30 days, you're not eating until sunset. And then after sunset, you're going for like 5K. So I lost a good amount of weight in that time. And just start doing push-ups and pull-ups in the house for 2 years, basically, just learning skills. Right. That's pretty much how it started all.
Yeah, I think with COVID, it did bring out a lot of new, because you couldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Like if you saw a video and you were stuck in the house.
Exactly.
Get people to start. When did you decide to turn that into more than just something you were doing by yourself in the house?
Well, it was like, because at the start, as I said, it was all in the house. So I was always like sitting on my laptop. After I start getting into it, learning handstands, I started struggling with my handstand, built my pull-up bar out the back. So I was learning a lot of stuff, or trying to learn a lot of stuff. And I start struggling in a lot of points. You know yourself, like small tweaks in the muscle up or handstand can make a big difference. So I was watching the videos, but you get to a point where you just hit a plateau. And that was the point for me. I start like looking, gyms in Belfast, calisthenics stuff in Belfast, stuff like that, and just couldn't find anyone. And then basically after doing it, I start posting on social media, and then one of my friends asked me if I could train him. He wanted to try like a couple handstands. I was like, sure. So we just went to a public gym, train him, and then he told his brothers, and his brother owns a gym. So actually I ended up training the 3 brothers, and after 2 sessions, they were like, we feel bad for you training us with not giving you money. So they actually start giving me money. And then whenever I start doing the sessions, it was like for 1 hour, I was getting 50 quid, for like the three people. So I was like, I am making that in an hour, where in my other job, I was like doing 6 hours or whatever to make that kind of money. So yeah, I just went, got my qualification, and then just basically start posting more, worked in different gyms before I opened the space.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Aaron eating a pancake in my oil line is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I can hear him from the back. Man's hungry.
When you start going into the gyms and that, like, what was the kind of, I suppose, general population's reaction to seeing you doing calisthenics in commercial gyms?
Well, they definitely haven't seen anything like it before, like just people looking at you and going like, what the hell is that? And that was actually a really big thing for me, because it was hard at the start to go out and do all this random stuff in a public gym where people just lifting weights and training, which is like the standard training, deadlifts, all that stuff. So people actually in Better Gym, there's a gym, public gym beside us. It's called Better Gym, and it was people start approaching to me. A lot of people just coming up to me and go like, oh, what you doing is cool. So actually people were like always interested to learn, and just week after week after week. I think at the end of it, every Saturday there was around 20 people. So we would like gather 20 people, and I was literally giving them a free class, just walk them through a handstand or else at the handstand, or just hanging around and training probably like for 3 to 4 hours. It's not the best way to do it, like training 3-4 hours, but it was just more because we just loved that community, and it was like almost a relief for everyone, because they all been training weights and stuff for years, but the calisthenics took them out of the way, and it was like more something, wait, I can still train, gain strength, gain muscles, but have fun at the same time. So it was like something also they haven't seen before, and I think this is one of the big reasons that I wanted to teach it to other people, because I was like, listen, if you try this, you might actually fall in love with it, because it's great. Like,
Form of play, really, isn't it? Like, that's why you can train for 3 or 4 hours.
100%, man. Like a lot of times, it just if you don't feel like training, just go and swing on the bars a little bit, and that's you done. It doesn't all the time have to be that heavy, structured stuff. You just go and play about with the bars, and you might have the best session ever. You might learn a new skill that you never thought you would learn. So I think that's what got me in calisthenics in the first place, because I did go to the gym a little bit before that, but I didn't like it. I just was lifting some weights, and it wasn't my way. So whenever I start doing calisthenics, I was literally like looking, like before I sleep, I go like, okay, what am I gonna be doing tomorrow? But in COVID, like, you have nothing to do, so all I was doing, like, literally that was my routine probably for over 7 months. Waking up in the morning, I would watch calisthenics videos while I'm having my breakfast, and then genuinely train like for 3 hours, and then after I train, I make some more food, sit down and watch more calisthenics videos, and then just go to sleep and start editing my videos that I recorded. And that was all I was doing, because I was like literally obsessed. My family thought I was going crazy or something. Literally just hear me, they're sitting downstairs, I'm doing handstand, just smacking the floor all day, and they were like, you know, this kid is going crazy. Literally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, mate, sounds absolutely so boring. Like.
Fair enough.
You said you went from like training your friends first,
Yeah.
and then you decided to finally get qualifications and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you had this place 2 years now.
2 years, yeah.
How do you find the transition from in person to you doing a lot of online coaching now?
It's hard to say, because like the online stuff give me a lot of freedom, but I feel like I enjoy a lot of times I still enjoy coaching in person, because you're still in there, you know, you still kind of connecting with people. That's the main thing again, like I like about it. So the online stuff is just, there's that thing where you're sitting behind the laptop at the end of the day, you know, so it's exactly. So that's the only difference, I would say. Is there a preference? Not really, because online gives you more freedom to go and do it from whatever you want. In person is just like, it's nicer to coach in person. So
We felt like with the online thing, it's because, like, you know, not everyone can reach you in this facility, say, so you have an opportunity to obviously expand to more people, and like you're growing your community in that way. Like anyone that does online with us, it's because our facility's too far away, but you're still giving them the opportunity to learn the sport or develop. But then, yeah, when you're in the real world, like that's your community, and that's how you're actually like kind of working with people, and you can
absolutely, yeah.
It's, you can't high-five someone through a laptop screen, do you know what I mean? Or it's so well done, like it's so much more difficult. So
100%.
But yeah, everyone, it depends
Yeah.
what you want, right? Then say for you obviously went from a transition to training more for enjoyment, and then the last while you've started, well, we've got you into a few comps and roped you in. How did you find that transition in terms of training, going from, you know, training for enjoyment to training to compete?
Well, it was still some sort of like enjoyment, but in a different way, you know, because whenever you're training for a competition, it's almost like you don't get your enjoyment until the day of the competition, but all the days before that you're just suffering, you know, like especially like with injuries and all that stuff. But it was funny enough, because my first competition, if you remember, whenever I went, it was the CrossFit gym. Remember that place? Yeah, the green something, I think it was.
Yeah, we don't mention the first part of the name, but yeah. Something green. Yeah,
yeah, some color. It was some color. But yeah, we. I wasn't supposed to compete on that day, and just went there just to basically have a look, you know, meet other calisthenics athletes, because over here, like there's no one does actually calisthenics. So I just wanted to go there just to see people, and I ended up doing some of the competition. It was the static stuff, and then from there I was like, it's just I think I'm gonna take that a little bit more seriously and just try to go for more competitions. I love it. I love competing. It's just that feeling of I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but like that feeling in the competition, I missed it, because whenever I used to play football, I used to get that feeling from the match, you know, whenever you have like you have to hype yourself up, all that stuff, and then you're pushing other people to push themselves. Whenever you train by yourself, you obviously like you don't have that, but whenever you're in the competition, you know, you're training for that, and then on the day, it's just the hype is on a different level, especially with calisthenics, and you know, with the team, it was different.
Yeah, exactly. Like we just quite like learning a new skill or catching something for the first time, as like scoring a goal in football, and trying to replicate, like, you know, when you score a goal, you're absolutely buzzing with yourself. And then if you're in a freestyle calisthenics or even statics, it's like if you get that trick first time, it's kind of the same, that feeling. So like just anyone that's not in the sport, it can be hard to like describe it. So you always end up using like football or something as the something similar.
100%.
You going from, you obviously played football for a couple of years, which is kind of a team, it's a team event, like team sport. How did you find that transition of working as a team to actually compete on your own?
I think I liked it more instead of like going for a team, because it's not actually, I wouldn't say that's a good trait about me, especially in the last couple of years. But I always been introvert and always like, to do everything just by myself. Again, I've been better in the last year, just to go out and just try to train with people, or just even like going with the Irish team to compete in Manchester. But I think I liked it more because whenever you playing with a team, it's easy to put the blame on someone else, but whenever you train it individually, then it's all on you. If you're not getting certain things, or if you like anything happens, all on you, so you take accountability, and that if I don't get this done, I'm not gonna get better. But whenever you're playing football, if you don't train, if you slack with your training, all that stuff, there's other people might take that load away from you, which is in some cases is good, because you have some people pushing you. But whenever you train individually, I think I liked it for a period of time. I liked it more than the team, because my whole idea was like going professional. I thought I was gonna be the next Messi or Ronaldo, and I was like taking it so serious. I thought like I would train like 4 or 5 times a week, and I was like working hard on that goal. And then you just to get to a point where every child, like the reality hits, and you just go like, you're not gonna be Ronaldo, like come on. You're not gonna be Ronaldo. And in here, people just go for the crack. They just play the match to go after, have a beer, and just hang out together. And I was like, what are you doing? We just lost. Why are you laughing? All that stuff, just taking it too seriously. And that used to frustrate me a lot. I was like, if I'm not gonna make this as a professional, then I would rather do something else. Instead of wasting my time,
Yeah, I didn't realise that either. I was like 18, playing in the 4th division in Dublin, thinking I'm gonna be the next David Beckham, like, and it's like, yeah, no, you're not, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
You just realize it's actually, I always thought if I want to make football happen, I will have to move somewhere else, because here it's not gonna be a thing at all. It's not pushed too much. There's not much support towards it.
So you did mention football there, or something in here, yeah. So you did play football growing up. When you moved here, like what was when you first arrived in Belfast? What was your impression of the place, people, culture, and like the sports scene and that?
It was.
Remember, you're still living here, so be careful what you say.
Great. No, it was actually. See, like. Whenever before we come in here, I never heard about Belfast. I never heard about Ireland.
Yeah, kind of like, that. Yeah, you came here for a bit of peace, like.
Yeah, So it was like, where are we even going? Like we didn't know, because it was like a program that we went through, and they basically gave us 3 options, which is like France, the US, and Ireland, and France we couldn't go because of some issues happened. Like France have something whenever you're applying for a visa. Like I'm a Muslim, so my mom wears a hijab, so for her visa she had to take the hijab off. So she was actually in the interview, and they were like, you have to take your hijab off for the visa, and she came out crying. And she was like, I don't want to go. So we were like, we're not going to France, and then US is way too far because my brother's in Germany. So we chose Ireland, but we didn't know what we were signing up for. We were like, Ireland is good. We love Ireland. We love the Irish people. But yeah, whenever we came in here, it was just like, you go, like, it was just hard, that especially like the accent, of course, like, we were speaking about that earlier, but it's just the accent. It's hard to understand. It's not just English, it's like Irish English, so you will have that was my main struggle at the start, just understanding people, because if you don't speak the language, it doesn't matter whatever or you still gonna look. Well, this is the way I used to think. I always looked stupid because I didn't know how to answer people. I didn't know how to express myself, So at the start, to be fair, I signed up for a football team, and they were great because, they helped me a lot, especially like to learn English. Second thing, even though I didn't speak English, they used to pick me up from the house because I didn't have a car. Like the coach used to pick me up from the house, take me to the game, and he used to have a board. So he would put a board up. He would explain to the team first, and he would put a board. He goes like, "This is you, okay? you." Yeah, he just goes like, "This is you. You're gonna be running up and down. You take the ball." He goes like the ball, and then you run up. And I just like after he just finished, he goes like, "Do you understand?" I go like, "Good." You know, I just like thumbs up, good, and I just go like, "Go smash it." And I done like pretty well, you know, because football again, you don't need a language to understand how to play. So, yeah, it was easy to make friends in that sense, and yeah, made a lot of friends. In the football team, and just start getting confidence. You know, you start learning some slangs, you start learning some, you know, stuff to say, and yeah, just from there start again, just more confident, speaking more. Start going to the college, learn the sport. I done like a level 3 sport, so that kind of give me a big boost with like a lot of stuff, because I didn't have any educational background, because I was working whenever I was in Lebanon. I was working like since I was like 12 full time until I was like 17, so I had to leave the school at the time. And yeah, but overall, like, and genuinely speaking, it doesn't matter wherever I go. I feel like here's home, you know, for me. Even though like if I go to different countries, or I feel like even if I go back to Syria, yes, it's gonna still be my home, but here's also my home, because my friends are here. Irish people, I don't know, for some reason, they love me. You know,
it's a good looking bloke, man. That's what.
But you know, and I love them at the same time. It's kind of, yeah, yeah, they're just like nice people, you know. It's I don't know how, like, I don't want to say it too much to a point where it looks fake, but I do enjoy living in here, and I feel like I don't get like any treated differently, you know. I feel like since I've been here from the first day, everyone been helpful, everyone been kind, everyone loves me, and yeah.
We had him under threat before the podcast started to say all that. The rowing. But I have here, like, you kind of did answer this, but like, say with the sport and stuff, like you said, football, like, and anyone else maybe coming in to Ireland and stuff, like for us, we've got young people coming into our club that are, you know, coming from another country, and do you think sport acts as that bridge to help them like settle in with a new culture, new people, and like, you know, gain acceptance almost, like for social inclusion and stuff? Do you think that acted as that for you?
Yeah. Like, again, absolutely. I think, like, especially whatever you have going down, it's great, you know, all the community, and I'm actually very jealous, you know, like what you have in there, because it goes same way. Like if someone coming in, if that's football, calisthenics, or whatever, it makes you to kind of go into the community, or like get to know people so much easier. Again, because if there is a sport, then you don't need a language, you don't need, you know, like it will gain you the confidence, it will make you friends, and in general, I think sport in general is the best way to, like, wherever you go, like even whenever I went to Lebanon, the easiest way for me was to make friends, because I was a good footballer, you know. The Lebanese people were like, oh, he's our guy, you know. He's just like, he's good at football. And whenever I came in here, it was the exactly same thing. Straight away, you don't need the language, you don't need anything, just sign up to a football team. If you're a nice person and good player, you're just, you know, you're sorted. So it makes your life so much easier. So you didn't tick either of those boxes? If I was one of them things, I would have been not great. But yeah,
you're all there to show up for the same common interest of the sport, whatever it is. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, or anything.
Exactly.
Bring people together.
100%.
For you coming across, what did you see as, like, because obviously Irish, like, tradition in terms of sport and all, and even our approaches to training and stuff, like anyone we've talked to from kind of multinational, they have a different perception. Like, did you notice differences in terms of, say, how Syria, Lebanon approach sport compared to Ireland?
I think like sport is not very something like very supported in like especially in our country, Syria. You know, uh, the only sport I feel like the only thing supported the most between these three countries is the football, which is like every kid, any kid you ask, they want to be a footballer. You know, so I feel like we're focused too much on this area, and we're not focusing too much on like other stuff, like you know, like calisthenics, something like calisthenics or some other sports. But mainly, yeah, I don't feel like in here it gets even like even though the support with like from, let's say, if we're talking about like government side or from the community side or whatever, it's not great towards the sports. But even like where in Lebanon and Syria, it's even worse. You know, like if you tell someone that you want to be a professional at something, they will laugh at you. They go like, oh, just go and get a job, you know. So it's not actually something encouraged in the community, which is, I feel like it's not a good thing. But over here still better. So if you want to do something, actually you still have option, you have some sort of support. So I feel like even if I was in Syria or Lebanon doing the exact same thing I'm doing here, I don't think I could reach at any level or at any coaching level in Syria or Lebanon, because everyone like just gonna laugh at you and shut you down. You know, it's getting better definitely, but that mindset of like sport is not prioritized in a way. I just don't like it. So.
Yeah.
Do you think that's just down to like general like people trying to get by and actually survive compared to like life might be a bit easier to, I suppose we have a bit more here in Ireland, like life is in a sense a bit easier probably than maybe back at home.
Yeah.
And they're like, be realistic, like income is the most important thing.
Oh, absolutely. No, I 100% agree. It just, you don't even have time, you know. As I said, like since I've been 11 or 12, I've been working full time, and even more than that, I used to work 2 jobs, like literally 2 jobs. I used to work from 6 a.m. until 5 p.m. and then after that, like doing another 3 hour shift in another place. So I actually didn't have time for myself. I used to come back, play like 30 minutes football outside, and that was pretty much it. And that's a kid like 11 years old until I was 17. So yeah, definitely, because you're trying to survive pretty much, you know, like playing football or doing calisthenics is not gonna feed you at the end of the day or feed your family. So you have to sacrifice thing for a better thing. Exactly. So yeah, I feel, yeah, that's a really good point. Where here, like my younger brother, since he's been here, he's been in school, you know, he didn't have to go in like to a life where I had to go through, you know. Since he's been here, his school is for free.
Drug dealer? Been a drug dealer?
Well, no, yeah. He after he gets his university degree, he will in science.
What's he using that for?
Yeah. But yeah, it's just opportunities, I guess, and it's just the situation of life makes a huge difference in your decisions.
And say up here, like probably like, well, a lot of places, but I feel here, like the sport you choose, like it's not just the sport you choose, it's like got a lot of political like sentiment behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Like up here, if you're playing GAA, most likely you're a nationalist. If you're playing something else, whatever jersey you're wearing is a symbol of like a lot more than just like in Liverpool or Man United or whatever. Like, did that have any impact on you when you come over first?
Yeah, 100%. I used to I used to play with, you know, like a Catholic team, and then there was like, of course, you know, some beef between like every team, and all the teams I played for, they were Catholic, because let's be honest, you know, they were more welcoming for me other than, you know, the other side. So
Luke's so happy to hear that.
you know, like, but it's just like it's the reality. Like, they were more welcoming, you know, and like especially for me, not speaking the language, all of that. So they always kind of welcomed me, and didn't have an issue with that, and supported me. So even though like at the start I didn't understand what was, you know, me being, yeah, exactly, I was still kind of I start going like, yeah, fuck them. You know, it's just like they're just like I go like, I don't know, I'm Syrian, but fuck them. You know, just like whenever we play matches, it's just it would be like literally, it's not football, you know, like there's a lot of matches you can realize kind of this is not a football match, this is more than a football match, and then it's just like the tackles, all that stuff. So every team I played against, they used to hate me because I used to be a very aggressive player and just breaking legs, you know. So, and just having that anger, and at the end of the match I go like, yeah, like, wait a second, I'm Syrian, why am I so kind of why am I so frustrated at them? And you know, so
Point the Éire approach again.
How long did it take you to kind of end up, you know, do you think that happened because of like true sport? You ended up identifying with that? Like you're playing football, but this is all of a sudden that becomes your team, your community.
Exactly. Like for me, again, if you're going to play with a team, then whatever happens to them, you know, it's happening to you. And then if like one of my teammates like fighting with another guy from the other team, it doesn't matter if he's in the wrong, you know, I'm still gonna defend him. And because you always, like, if you're playing team sport, if you actually don't look after your teammates, whatever sport you're playing, then yeah, you need to pre-question why do you actually want to be here or not, or because if you love your team, you'll actually just kind of support them on whatever. So it wasn't like any like religion or whatever like driven thing. It was just like, this is my team and I feel like I get a lot of respect from them. So the least I can do is kind of just go with them on that side, you know.
Yeah, because I'm not going to get real technical, right? I'm not going to bore you, but like with sports colleges end up like, so you want to become part of that group, so you take on their what they consider as their values or their norms. So like all of a sudden, just through sport, you want to be in with that in group, you're taking on a lot of their values and stuff, because as you said, they're the ones that accept you and all. So
yeah, exactly. And
do you think, like I have here, like, so calisthenics offers a huge amount of expression then, and you are displaying a certain aspect of your personality and stuff. Do you think through like your cultural background and then having those values that you got through sport, like soccer here, but your previous background before that, do you think that impacted your training and stuff?
Sorry, say what do you mean?
Probably confused everyone. So calisthenics is like obviously a very expressive type of sport.
Yeah.
But some of the values you would have picked up from being up here through like ending up learning more about the political stuff and all that.
Yeah.
Coming from Lebanon to here, do you think any of that influenced the sports you chose and stuff?
I think yeah. It's more because this, like, especially this sport, like my background, especially, you know, the way I got raised up is very like disciplined life, you know, and I feel like calisthenics, you have to be very, very disciplined to get better at it. So yeah, I think that's kind of the main factor what affected it, because I always looked for something disciplined practice I can do. And I feel like whenever I done calisthenics, I was like, I need to show up every day, be disciplined at certain thing, and it doesn't matter, you know, however you feel, you need to still show up. And that's kind of one of the main thing that kind of transferred from my background into calisthenics, which is, you know, I know everyone is bored from this word, but it's actually, you know, the consistency behind it. You like straight away, if you see someone like plancher or doing lever or do calisthenics in general, any hard move, straight away you have respect for them, because you know how much effort and reps and fail they're being behind this lever. Or it's not just a planche, you know, people see it, they go like, oh, it's cool, but if you actually been doing it, have you tried to do planche before, you know, like, or have you
It's like doing most of them, it's like how different.
you know what I mean, like whenever you see this stuff, so you can see, like, it's not just, oh, someone is doing planche, you can see discipline behind it. You know that person is a disciplined person because he's been putting reps for 2 years on the exact same move without seeing too much progress. And yeah, and they, you know, they're still doing it. So I think yeah, you have a huge respect for them.
Yeah, definitely. And then you can see all the injuries with Luke here, like. Right, stick with me for a second. This is gonna be a bit boring at the start, right?
Okay.
Even Aaron's just walked out of the room, like. So we'll pause for a minute then. Yeah. All right, go on. In social psychology, so sociology, there's a thing around like nationalism and globalization. So it's both already like what are you talking about? So like say in Ireland we created national games. So we created GAA because we want to stay close to like national identity, and we started rejecting foreign games like soccer, because soccer was seen as like a global anglicised game. So globalization is when a sport becomes so widespread it's shared across cultures. Calisthenics has obviously become more widespread. Do you think that over time with calisthenics you'll see countries having like their own styles and performances in the sport?
I think, well, hopefully, yeah, you know, like more than anything, hopefully, because I feel like even like in the last 5 years since COVID happened, like this is how I got started, but it like people been doing it more since COVID, so it's been actually spread more. But in terms of, I feel like already like into certain degree, maybe I'm not sure if I'm 100% accurate, but like you see the Russians in a way they have their own style. You have the Germans, like the sets and reps, and they have also their own style, and mainly the French are more in the static. So it's already that in a way, but yeah, I feel like the more people do it, the more the style is gonna pick up, and yeah, you know, in a way, hopefully, it becomes that big thing that start going on TVs, and it's just get a bigger sport because it deserve to be a bigger sport. I think calisthenics, you know, you have a lot of other sport in the Olympics that me personally I don't think it's as impressive as calisthenics, and they're still on Olympics, you know, where calisthenics is actually a great sport and people enjoy watching it, and you can tell from people reaction on social media, you know, like people reacting to the videos like these people are freaks, you know, all that stuff. So people actually would watch that if you have a good event like hosting it. I think, yeah, it just need to be more supported in a way.
I'm just glad that you were able to expand on the question and it made sense. So like say with football, obviously it has over 100 years history. And like if you think of Spain, it's like possession, tiki-taka. Brazil, like soccer, Joga Bonito. If you go to Germany, it's defensive. Like each kind of country has its own style. Like as you said, you see it expanding or whatever, but like what would you consider Ireland's style or identity in calisthenics, if there is one yet?
I think it's more in the freestyle. It's just because down south, I think you guys done a great job for bringing that, and I think it comes from, you know, your background, the other guy's background, so you kind of spread that into it more. So I think it's just the freestyle and the love like for the game, you know. For us, whenever we went to Manchester, and you can see for people like the team supporting each other. I've never seen anything like that before, you know, not with other teams. Whenever there was Ireland name shouted in the room, the whole room was going crazy, you know, where with the other teams it wasn't like that. They were looking at us and they were like, you know, this is exactly. So I think you can maybe pick that as a style in the sport where, you know, it's not just that individual sport, you know, it's more like that team in a way. And I'm not sure if that my answer makes sense, but you know,
it does. So I have like I was trying to like break that down for you to sound more make more sense. So like you've basically said there that the atmosphere we created as a community, like that's something that probably we stood out for, as you said, like when we go to the Worlds or even when you went to say FIBA and stuff. I know there's no Irish at that, but you could probably get a sense of like, okay, what are what's that country like when they're together as a group compared to say the Irish together when they're a group. And then like say in terms of performances, like you've mentioned a few different countries that they might have a preference for, like Italy, born and gay, it's all statics. That seems to be what they prefer. If we go to Holland or Belgium, it's all dynamics and no statics. And then if you go to any like Latin American, Aaron's looking at me. Oh, sorry, I thought you were looking. In Latin America, it's just all flair. It's like the way they express themselves on the bar, and it's real high energy performances. Do you think your own training then is shaped? Oh, sorry, Luke, playing footsie today. Do you think your own training then it's been shaped by that kind of national identity stuff, like people in this area, or do you feel it's more globalized by like Instagram and what you're seeing there?
I think it was more like global because especially here in Belfast and being distance away from you guys, I almost tried different stuff, you know. Freestyle, maybe I didn't experience it a lot, but I tried different stuff, and then at the end of the day it was whatever suit me the best, you know, what I actually got the enjoyment out of, plus what I wouldn't say naturally good at, but in a way you already feel like I'm gonna be good at this if I keep doing this one. Like for me, if I do freestyle, I don't feel like I'm gonna be great at it first because I don't really love it that much. I love statics.
Boo.
You know, it's just I appreciate watching it, and then I admire the people, and I understand how hard it is because I tried it and then I sucked at it, you know. But it just, I'm more drawn towards the static. So yeah, just whenever I was watching the videos, whenever I see static people doing static, it always kind of drove me more towards it, more than like watching the freestyle. So I think social media have a big effect on like my decision whenever I made that decision that I want to just go for static. So yeah, I would say like more globally, more than anything.
Yeah. And then here's my last kind of very history question, right? And then I'll go back to normal questions. So
someone's happy about that.
Everyone's happy about it. So Ireland's sporting history is very much shaped by politics. So after the Irish Free State was formed, giving you a big history lesson here, right? But
okay, I'm in.
Football, soccer split into two associations, one in Dublin, one in Belfast. Rugby stayed all one country, one formation, because it was mainly Protestants and middle class that played rugby.
Mm-hmm.
So that didn't really affect them when Ireland got mixed up together. And then obviously GAA was only played by Catholic and nationalist communities. Do you see calisthenics in Belfast developing along similar lines, or is it gonna like kind of be a more neutral sport that might cross those divides?
I'm not sure how to answer this question.
I like my house.
I'd like to keep my car. I have nothing against everyone.
I love you all.
But I genuinely don't know if it would actually be a split at any point for me personally, because at the end of the day, yeah, I actually don't know how to answer this. It's just, do you mean like would it be drawn to one side more than the other? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so GAA up here, like we were saying earlier, it's not just the sport, it's what everything it represents and the culture that's behind it. So if you're playing GAA, likelihood is you're Irish in brackets and you're nationalist, but other sports have had splits. So football, obviously it stemmed from England, and then rugby stemmed from England as well. So like if you're playing them, yeah, you could be either or now at this point, but at the start it was more to do with what those sports represented.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously this is like 100 years ago. I'm not trying to bring it back up or get your house burnt down or but like, yeah, I'm just wondering in terms of who you've come across now, do you see it as something that like potentially like nobody who is Protestant plays GAA because of what it's affiliated to? Do you see something like that happening with calisthenics? Or
well, I'm genuinely hoping not, you know, because at the end of the day, as we said, like calisthenics is going to be that one thing that, you know, bringing people together. So it doesn't matter whatever, your races or like whatever your background. It's not the place for it, I think, you know. I think like whenever you step in, if you're in with a team or you're training with someone, just just leave that on the side, and just treat the other people on the way they treat you at the end of the day, you know. So I hope not, but it might get affected because again, like it's more popular from down south. So if people doing it here, then it might be like a split thing where, you know, the Catholic side is doing it more than the other side, you know. So it might get affected, but I'm hoping not, because at the end of the day, you know, it's a sport that bringing people together. And even you can see, like, whenever we went to Manchester, even we were cheering for the other teams, you know. We didn't know them, and that's the good thing about, like, I feel calisthenics. Sometimes you don't know the people and you still like cheering for them, you know, you're pushing them. You don't know what they believe in or what their religion or what their background or whatever. You're just treating them on, like, out of respect for the sport that, you know, they've been doing the thing. So yeah, I hope not, but it might do. So we'll see. Hopefully I live for another 100 years to witness
Might
that.
not live after the end of this podcast, mate. As most politically correct answer you could have come up with, probably. Yeah, and I think, like, the only reason there's two separate, say, with football was because of that Catholic Protestant. Some people up here wanted to represent the Republic and others wanted to stay connected to England.
Okay.
So, like, you could, again, I'm just making theories here, but you could end up with, like, something like that here as well, where the sport is divided in two, but hopefully not. Everyone's welcome to Cali-X, yeah?
Yeah.
But no, I just think it's interesting because we're just talking a little bit about Ireland's history and all. And yeah, Luke, you want to talk about the Three Nations? I'll move on from you.
Yeah. So you already touched on it a bit there, but you've obviously competed on your own and going over the Three Nations. What were your thoughts before you actually got there, and the experience that happened for you? What were your thoughts before you got there?
In the Three Nation?
Yeah.
I think the Three Nation was one of the best experiences I had, like, especially like with calisthenics. It was many things happened with that competition which made it, like, very, very special. First thing, it was, like, you know, away, so I got to travel and do the calisthenics. That's the first thing.
And I've always wanted to go to Warrington, like.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it was, like, just, you know, that feeling, because in that year, you know, I went to Manchester, went to Germany, so it was actually the first year to feel like, okay, I'm traveling for this, I get to do this somewhere else, you know. So it felt really good. Second thing, I was doing Ramadan, so it was more of a spiritual experience, like the training before me getting injured, 2 months before that, you know, touring my pack and then just recovering from that, and then going to the competition, fasted with a team. You know, I don't feel, to a certain degree, the only thing pushed me, it was like the team, because it was like a team effort, you know. It just, whenever you step in there, you know, you're not just stepping up for yourself, you're stepping for everyone, like, you know, behind you. Everyone went. It doesn't matter, again, if you're in a freestyle, static or whatever, you're not just doing it for yourself anymore, you know, you're doing it for the team. And yeah, it was just a very, very spiritual experience for me, like, especially there, again, because I was very tired on the day, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, not having food or water in me or whatever. And I was talking to my friend the other day on that experience. I was literally standing there at some point before before they say my name, and I just literally just closed my eyes because I was in another dimension, you know. Because again, whenever you're fasting, naturally you feel like more connected to yourself. So whenever I closed my eyes, it just felt, I was like, I'm here, you know. I felt so present, and at the same time almost like high in a way. I was like, I'm ready for this, I'm just gonna go there.
So I would Luke for a bit beforehand.
But yeah, it was a very spiritual experience, and yeah, it was I loved it. I loved every second of the Three Nations, and this is why I was asking when we're doing it again, because it was literally the best 2 days I've spent in a very, very long time, you know, with doing the sport. So yeah, hope we go against.
Be even better next year, mate. Be in
Yeah,
Ireland and everything,
absolutely.
be class.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like we seem to get the kind of same feedback from most people that went over, and just the whole thing of going as a team and not going as an individual.
Yeah.
Like people that went to the Worlds, they are going as Ireland, but you're still representing yourself as an individual. The three nations, like you said, whatever you did on the day kind of affected everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly, like you said earlier, it was Ireland that got announced as the winner. It wasn't like Luke or Sam or Jamie, whatever. It was like Ireland.
100%.
Everyone just grabbing each other. Whereas we were at the Worlds obviously like 2 months later, and you know everyone done well, and you're delighted for them. But it didn't have the same group feeling or that.
100%, and especially because it was like for Ireland, you know. Again, as I said, because from the start, if we go back from the start, I really like have so much love for the country. So me, even like you guys invited me to be part of the team, and you know have that, you know, logo on my shirt, just competing for the team, it actually meant a lot for me. You know, you feel like at a certain degree you belong, you know, to a team or to a country, to go and represent it, and then have all these people supporting you. Again, I wasn't born here, but I was representing the team over there with yous, and I felt like more than one of yous, you know. So it was like that was also a big thing for me to go and compete for Ireland, and be part of the team. It really meant a lot.
It's class. And then where do you see? Obviously, you won't be here because you're heading off to Dubai, hopefully. Where do you see, like, say, the Irish calisthenics scene going? Like, how do you see it progressing in the next couple of years?
My calisthenics or calisthenics in general?
General, overall.
I think calisthenics is that 100% heading in the right direction with everything. A lot of people starting it. I think it's gonna get to a point where hopefully start be like a very big events. Start streaming in, like I wouldn't say like maybe it will take a lot of years to get to somewhere like Olympics or something like that, but at the same time it's not like a big dream to say, you know, it's going to be on platforms like that, because again it's a good sport. It's a really good sport. It's nice to watch. It's entertainment, but at the same time it's, you know, it has everything. So I think calisthenics is definitely heading in the right direction. It's gonna be so big that everyone want to do it because it's fun. It's, you know, everyone now wish if they can do calisthenics, and you can see a lot of people starting calisthenics. So it just need time. I think another couple years and people just keep doing whatever they're doing, because, you know, social media and Instagram, TikTok help a lot because people are posting all these skills. So the younger generation, most of them, like I've seen some kid who was like doing a full planche, and he's like 14 the other day, you know. He was like doing a full planche, dropping into a front lever or whatever. So straight away you go like, he's 14 doing that. So imagine like after a couple of years, and how many other kids and younger guys been training just because they got inspired by the other guys who's going to the competitions. So definitely the younger generation they like it because it's attractive, you know, like calisthenics, because you can show off, and this is the main thing. This is why I wanted to do it, and that was why I do it outside, because you're showing off what you've been training for, and there's nothing wrong with that. So it's very affecting the younger generation, and I think in a couple of years, whenever these younger guys gonna be competing, they're just gonna take it to another level. I think the level we're at right now, it's not, you know, like they're gonna be a like way higher standard in a couple of years.
Yeah, we can already see that, like with each generation coming through, that like the level they're at compared to like us. And you know, when we first started, you could get away with being like early 20s and then getting into comps. Now it's like it's the same as like gymnastics or something, where if you're not starting at 7, 8, like you've no chance. Like
exactly.
You know, like Will and stuff, it's only 14, 15. Well, he's 16 now, but his first world championship was 14. I didn't even know what sport was at 14. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
you can see
exactly. No, it's great.
Just looking back, when pre-COVID, there was, you know, the 360 getting thrown back then, people would be quite out with that. Now
That's a standard, yeah.
Well, I think really when it's going to take off, is me and Jake had this conversation, is when it's like sport, you know, all the family have done football or gap. Like when you start seeing like people that have done calisthenics like your generation and their kids, your Éire kids or whatever, start doing, it's really gonna take off, and then you're just like,
Oh, absolutely.
been raised around it, like, you know.
Yeah.
Luke wants to all start popping kids out, yeah.
You for planche, you for lever, you do freestyle. Yeah, it's just.
Last one for you is like, what are your own plans and calisthenics ambitions?
I guess actually there's of course a lot of goals because I have more like business goals more than, you know, in terms of like me personally, like on a personal standard. But I feel like I just want to do more competitions and then take, like, for the next 2 years my plan is just to train, and then I'm hoping after 2 years to step on a big stage, you know, like for static competitions. But I know for a fact that it's just gonna take a lot of time because these guys are on the stage at the minute. They've been doing it like for way more years, and it's just like they put a lot of work into it, and then it makes it like a little bit easier and more achievable for me because I'm already looking at them and I go like, okay, you know, if I put another 2-3 years, I'm gonna be like this guy, or I'm gonna have an opportunity to compete on bigger stages. But yeah, I just want to go and compete on bigger stages. I want to travel and do calisthenics. That's the main goal for me, especially like for the end of this year. I might just have to close this down, or if I can keep it and then be away maybe for a couple of months, then perfect.
Doing well to sell the gym on the podcast, aren't you? Like, probably gonna be closed in a couple of months. Like,
but yeah, just basically go around, travel, do calisthenics, meet a lot of athletes. That's my plan. Maybe start a YouTube channel. I'm already like start making YouTube videos, so maybe start going and just doing interviews with a lot of athletes and just kind of spreading the calisthenics everywhere and just try to learn, you know, from the best who've done it, because I feel like this is what can actually scale me up. Because if I stay here, especially where here in Belfast, there's not a lot of guys do it, and you know what yourself, you all train together, and you know how beneficial it is to train together, because if Luke is doing something, you're looking at him and you can tell straight away. You go like, maybe try this. If he sees you trying something or you see him trying something, it's very easy to pick from this stuff. But where I'm here, you know, I've been training by myself probably, yeah, for the last 5 years. You know, I have not, like, I would do the odd sessions here and there with my friends, but I have no one to train with.
mate, don't make it sound all depressing at the end. Like, jeez.
I know. I need someone to train with me.
Friend.
I'll pay you. You will sleep here, and then you're gonna get fit. Just please come train with me. But yeah, just
You can come down to us, mate. It's all right. Like,
hey, 3 hours drive. Like 3 hours is yeah. Last time I went to the competition, I felt my back in pieces. I got
him. That's why he's on that chair.
Yeah. 3 hours is a very long drive.
Sounds like you've all lonely all week, mate. You need to travel 3 hours to meet some people. Like.
Yeah, I'm alright. I'm keeping alright. Can I move that?
All right, on that depressing note, Sam, that you've left everyone on. If anyone wants to check in on Sam after this, I'm sure he's all right.
Oh God.
Check in on your friends, yeah?
Guys, I'm alright. Okay. Planche makes me feel better, so I'm good.
I don't need friends. I have Planche.
Yeah.
Planche is my friend.
The floor is my friend.
All right.
Thanks very much, Sam.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, classmate.
Good to see you. After it's been a long time, so it's good to see you and have a chat with you.
Sounds like it's good for you to see anyone.
Can you make it every single week? Can we do it?
Sometime next week.
Yeah, I'll pay you to make a podcast with me.
All right. Go good.
Thanks,
mate.
Thank you very much.
There you go, Aaron. Yeah, mate. Thank you.
That was fun.
All right. Very good.